Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pula and here's what we have in the bulletin.
St. James Health eyes drinking water quality. Festive season alert. Fire brigade calls for electrical safety. And later in sports, Montego Bay United back at the top of JPL standings after win over Arnett on Monday night.
Now the details. The St. James Health Department remains concerned about the quality of drinking water. The department reports that it is actively monitoring water sources and continues to conduct regular testing. More in this report.
A total of 252 chlorine residual tests were recently conducted by the St. James Health Department. Of these, 232 samples were found to contain adequate levels of chlorine for effective disinfection. The National Water Commission's water supplies are being continuously monitored, along with both new and existing springs across several areas.
Banana Spring, Bogue, that's off the highway, 2 in Reading, Howard Cook Boulevard, Queens Drive, that's the entrance to Claude Clark Avenue, Creek Street, Pattison Avenue, Irving Drive in Ironshore as well, Canaan, Pitford, Gutters Square, Virgin Valley, Brown Spring, Sunderland, Burn Ground, Mafuta Spring, which is now dried up, and also Woodland.
The health department says it has taken steps to erect warning signs at several of these locations to inform the public of the situation and to encourage caution.
In terms of the municipal springs that are being monitored, Cool Water, 2 signs have been erected there, Tolo, Popkin Spring, Charity, and there are plans to erect more signs in these locations. We continue to monitor our water stores, and 18 of them were checked, 13 were operating, and have proven to be operating in a satisfactory manner.
Over 700 individuals have been educated on the safety of drinking water, and 48 schools have also been visited as a part of this initiative.
40 of them have been opened and are operating satisfactorily. We continue to monitor our nursing homes, daycare centers, children's homes, funeral homes, our health centers, and clinics. So far for health education and health promotion, approximately 1,250 residents were reached.
Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, Ms. Lewis says the health department has adequate resources to address health issues across the parish. Ms. Lewis also notes that the department has received external support from stakeholders and the Ministry of Health to secure additional resources.
In terms of our resources, we have 3 coaster buses and 2 additional vans each day that provide services for our vector control department, which enables us to cover a wider range of coverage in communities and also facilitate frequent revisits to our known high-risk communities. Doctors Without Borders as well has contributed to our fleet. They have provided 3 pickup vehicles for us.
The government continues to defend its recovery efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. State Minister in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Delano Sivright, highlighted the progress made by utility companies so far. This is over the past month. He also compared Jamaica's response to that of another country.
Puerto Rico. In 2017, Puerto Rico got hit by Category 4 Hurricane Maria. Strong hurricane. Not as strong as Melissa, but strong. And Puerto Rico, 3.2 million people, not far off from Jamaica with 2.9 million people. Similar topography like Jamaica, mountainous, interior, a lot of us live along the coastline. But they were without electricity in many places up to 11 months, almost an entire year without electricity. We must understand that Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, a United States territory, was without electricity, many of them, for up to a year. So we must congratulate progress when we see it.
Mr. Seizure again stressed the importance of getting the economy up and running.
We cannot afford for Jamaica to slow down. If Jamaica slows down, it means rising unemployment, rising and falling opportunities, and businesses that will shut down, and that doesn't benefit anyone. So we have to go all out to get our country back up and running. No mistake about it.
He was speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Central Jamaica Social Development Initiative in Manchester on Sunday. More than 150 students were certified by the Heart Trust NSDA. The Northeastern Parks and Markets Waste Management says the current garbage collection schedule for St. Thomas will be revised. This is to keep pace with the parish's growing population. This follows complaints about the pile-up of waste in sections of the parish.
I am only cautioned by the fact that we cannot just arbitrarily extend collection schedules because that comes with an extended cost. And that has to be done with the approval of the executive director for us to extend the resources to that. But as what Councillor MacLeod did indicate, there has been relocations, and we have to try to satisfy as much as possible the waste removal needs of communities. So Councillor, we will look at it, and I'm certain that there are other communities with a similar concern, and see how we can best change our schedule.
The police in St. Thomas say there has been a significant increase in gun seizures since the start of the year. The police say 2 illegal firearms and a .38 revolver were taken from 2 men on the weekend. They were arrested in connection with the murder of a resident of Wheelers Field last weekend.
We have confiscated 18 prohibited weapons, which represent an increase of 350% when compared to the corresponding period for 2024.
In the meantime, a call for residents to be vigilant during the Christmas season.
I want to say to my residents at this time, make yourself part of targets. You know, criminals don't like resistance. They take the path of least resistance. So make yourself a harder target. Secure yourself when you're out there. Be aware of your surrounding. I observe persons are just walking around paying attention to their telephone. It's not safe. All right. Secure your cash. We know that in the festive season, volume of cash will be out there. So I'm just encouraging people to be extremely careful. Don't be vulnerable. Pay attention to your surroundings and make yourself a target. There are persons who will be coming to you for job, wanting to clean your premises, landscaping, all that. Be extremely careful of people that you employ, because breaking is one challenge we have in St. Thomas. And when people observe that you're not at home, when you make yourself too vulnerable, they know your space, then they will take advantage of it when you're not there. So be extremely careful.
The Manchester Fire Brigade is urging residents to exercise caution with electricity during the festive season. Alia Bryant has the details.
Superintendent Emmerich Needham is reminding residential and commercial electricity users not to overload electrical circuits, as some communities may experience load shedding.
Don't overload your circuits, but people tend to light all those Christmas lights and do all kind of crazy stuff within this festive season, and your house and your property might go in flames. We ask you please to pay attention to the cooking, because it's a festive time and we cook a lot, and we are having party and we don't leave this cooking unattended, it can start fires. We don't want to go into the new year morning.
He's also imploring persons not to leave Christmas lights plugged in overnight.
A lot of times these wires can overheat and chafe. I want to recommend, because we have it on the market now, they have the solar lights that persons can use instead of those that are engaged in the socket of JPS.
In the meantime, Superintendent Needham is reminding motorists to exercise extreme caution on the nation's roads during the festive season.
If you drink, don't drive. Have a designated driver and save yourself, save your family, and save the country of the mourning for the loss of life.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
Councillor for the Portmore Pines Division, Claude Hamilton, is calling for the implementation of a monitoring system to track short-term rentals. Speaking at the recent Municipal Corporation meeting, he pointed to the Haitian nationals staying at an Airbnb in Portmore. They have since been deported. Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, provided details on the matter.
No, Councillor, we have no registration of the houses that are used for Airbnb, neither for short term. We have no jurisdiction in that. We have no responsibility or any jurisdictions in regarding to that aspect of it.
The councillor is also concerned about the increased housing density.
That has 800 houses, and within the next 10 years, the density has increased from a single family unit to multiple families. That is more garbage output, that is more resources on our water, that is more on our sewage, and more, whereas we're not, and I said, we are not, and we are not against this, but it is the municipality as is in a capacity to handle all this.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Bank of Jamaica will carry out its 32nd intervention in the foreign exchange market this morning, injecting $40 million in an effort to stabilize the local currency and rein in inflation. Central Bank Governor Richard Biles says containing inflation remains the bank's top priority at this time. The BOJ has also reminded banks and cambios that foreign exchange purchased through the intervention must not be sold to end users at more than 20 Jamaican cents above the purchase price. End users are defined as customers seeking foreign currency to pay for the importation of essential goods and services for production. Less than 3 days remain for Congress to act to prevent higher healthcare costs for millions of Americans. Pandemic-era Affordable Care Act subsidies are set to expire in the new year, a move that could double premiums and leave 2 million people uninsured. With lawmakers heading into recess, bipartisan groups are now pushing for a last-minute compromise on Capitol Hill. For the Business Minute, I'm Prince Moore.
Thank you, Prince. It's now time for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has defended his government's decision to raise the minimum wage amid concerns from private sector leaders. Skerrit says the increase, which took effect on December 1, was guided by the Minimum Wage Advisory Board and aims to ensure a fair, livable income for workers. He insists the adjustment will not trigger significant inflation and says the government is supporting businesses through the transition. And on the international scene, a plane crash in Mexico has left at least 6 people dead. Authorities say a private Cessna Citation III jet went down Monday morning in the city of Toluca, about 40 miles west of Mexico City. The aircraft departed Apuco with 2 crew members and 8 passengers on board and was headed to Toluca International Airport. The cause of the crash is now under investigation. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Alia. We take another break. Sports is next.